Hey guys, so today we're gonna go to a house that the lady hired a contractor, HVAC contractor, to install her a boiler and a hybrid system. Hybrid system is it's a heat pump as a primary source of heat and a propane as a secondary source of heat. As you see, she's right here in the middle of the woods, so she has no gas in here to her house. But unfortunately, she got awesome system. She got a Bosch heat pump paired with a Rinnai boiler, but nothing works the way it should. Her heat pump never worked, and her boiler is not even set up correctly. So let's go inside and take a look, because this poor lady, after she hired them, thousands of dollars on the electrical bill and thousands of dollars of propane, and at the end of the day, she's not even comfortable. Her house is never able to heat to not even 60 degrees. So let's go inside and take a look. Folks, now we're here in the basement, and as you see, awesome product installed. This is a Bosch air handler. We got a 5-inch air bear installed in here. Actually, it's not in here, but it's supposed to be here. We're gonna make sure the customer, before we leave, she has the 5-inch high efficiency filter installed. Evaporator coil that is a proper match with the unit outside. This should be a awesome hybrid system. We call this a hybrid because the primary heat is the heat pump, which uses electricity very efficiently and very low cost. And the second source of heat is the air handler that's connected to a boiler. It's a propane boiler back there. Like you see, one of the problems, the same problem that you see outside is in here. It's made with plumbing solder. All the connections are done in plumbing solder. Of course, this is already leaked out of refrigerant. It's nearly empty, and the system never worked right. When she used this as a heat pump, the electrical bill, the house was cold and the electrical bill was thousands of dollars. But you know, the reason is no refrigerant here, not proper vacuum, not the installation was completely hack. Doesn't matter. You can buy a nice Mercedes. Imagine the Mercedes was selling the cars, and the cars comes on the box, and the box was just shipped to the local dealer, and the dealers put it together. Make a difference with dealer you buy that from. Some of them you'll be complete, you have the real Mercedes that you intended, and some you're gonna have something like this, missing parts, not done correctly. That's gonna be a danger on the road. The same thing with an HVAC system. Comes in parts. This comes all in separate pieces, have to be put together in a proper way, so that way the system works the way it's intended to. So other things that we see in here is a problem. She bought a two zone system, never worked as a two zone system. Like you said, this is supposed to be the zone damper control on the ductwork. So we're supposed to have two of those. This is a zone damper. This is made by Honeywell, and it's going to be mounted right in here on the ductwork, so that way she'll be able to control the zone independently. So those vents in here, they open and close, and that's how she controls the vents. And this is controlled by this control in here. This is the wrong controller. This is a dual fuel application, so we're going to use the heat pump outside, and when the temperature drops below let's say a set temperature like 32 degrees, the system automatically switched to the boiler. And the way it is right now, it's not even wired properly. Feels like they're trying to do this and they couldn't figure it out the proper way to do it. Like I said, that's the difference. When you hire a company that's professional, is trained, and has done this many times with a company, maybe it was just trying out in here. This one is not made for this kind of application, so that's why we gonna install this new one in here, which is it's very similar, but this is called the HZ432. That's made for dual fuel application. and she'll be able to be comfortable. This will be helping her eliminate hot and cold spots, and it will be working correctly. If she's not using some of the rooms, she just can turn it off and use just where she needs it. That's why we're gonna put this new controller. So I'll circle back with you guys as soon as we get this done. So going outside of the house, we, as you see, we found a few problems. The first one, just like they did inside, unfortunately they used the plumbing solder to connect the copper lines. This is not acceptable. This system right now has 0 refrigerant in. Everything had leaked because they used the improper solder. Even if this was done properly and if it was holding, it's not the proper solder. The R410A is a high pressure refrigerant and required to use the silver brazing alloy, which is a different solder. It's just more resistant and is made for refrigeration. Contrary of they using here, it's made for plumbing, for water, and it's a completely different application. Other problems that we see outside is the way they did the pad. A condenser have to be lifted from the ground because with the frosting, some ice can form. Imagine here in the day with the very snow and very cold, and so they have to lift. But instead of using the proper pad, they just made one out of wood, and unfortunately, it's not even made out of a pressure treated wood that would be more resistant. It's just a regular wood. They slapped this together. Feels like they just cut a pallet and they put the heat pump on top of the pallet. The things that had another problem is by code, this disconnect should never be behind the unit. If you need to turn it off, you just come in here and you pull this off. And if it's behind the unit, you have no space. And it's the same thing in here. This should be in a place that you can work on it, so you have access. If this is behind and the way it was before, it can't. Because like a guy like me, we're not gonna fit behind here. So for safety, that should be in an open space. So 2 violations that we found. The unit was right here, right behind the disconnect, and also it had no room to work on it. So what we did was simply to move the unit in here so we have space to work on it, and also if you need to turn off the unit, we can come in here and just disconnect it. So now system complete, system installed. You see the base, instead of wood, you have the proper razor pad that makes sure that you have enough space for the defrosting with the concrete pad. You have the lines redone. You see now you have full access to the electronics and everything in here inside of the unit. You don't have to be squeezing back there. In here you have the disconnect. Actually, this was not part, we already fixed this inside, so to turn on and off you just have to pull this back in here. System is ready to go. So guys, this is a wrap, so the whole job is complete. Some of the stuff you guys see in here, we insulate the ductwork, we install the zone dampers, so now they're going to be two lines. We installed a separate thermostat that was not installed in the other zone. We connected the zone control board. This is the proper one with outdoor sensor, so when the temperature outside, we set for 32. Below 32 degrees, she's going to switch to propane, but as long as the temperature is above 32 degrees, she's going to use the heat pump as a source of heat. We also did change the parameters in here on the boiler. This was not done properly. They use an outdoor sensor for this unit, but when the days like this, when the temperature is not so cold outside, the boiler was heating up only for 120 degrees, and so she never had enough hot water. So we changed that too. Basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. And thanks for watching. And if you have any problems similar to this, you know, you can contact us. We'll be happy to help you. And just like, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a like button. And I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.